everybody, and welcome back to the CPCA Backstage Pass, the CPCA Advising Podcast. I'm peer advisor Maggie, and today we have a very special guest. You might recognize her if you've watched prior seasons of the Backstage Pass podcast. It's Sarah Barainyak, who is a recent Temple alum, and we're so glad to be talking to her today. Hi, Sarah.
Hello, Maggie. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's so crazy to be on this side of the convo.
I know. We've been waiting for this one. By we, I mean me. So very, very happy to have you today. So let's jump right in. Yeah. As we mentioned, you are, I say we, as if it's not just me talking today.
Royal we.
Always missing peer advisor Brianna. Hi, peer advisor Brianna. But yeah, so you are a recent Temple grad. You are spring 22. So what made you choose Temple in the first place?
Yeah, so I chose Temple because I did the whole audition circuit thing where you go to all the colleges, you see everything, you get some offers, all of that. Many months of preparation and going out and doing all the things. And Temple just came back. It was just the most financially secure route to go. And also I'm from the suburbs of Philly, so it was just super easy to get to. If I ever needed to come home for anything, my mom would pick me up, or I'd just hop on the regional rail, and it just made the most sense for me. And I've always come to Philly. I've been coming to Philly since I was little to see shows and stuff, so I already knew that I loved the theater industry here, and it was just nice to try and see if I could do it professionally here. So that's why I chose Temple.
Awesome. I feel like that's such a relatable answer to a lot of people that also end up at Temple. It was certainly relatable to me. So thank you for sharing that. What would you tell someone who is currently thinking about applying to Temple?
Yeah, I always say make sure you do your research for all of the colleges that you're looking at. Make sure they have what you want. And then if Temple is one of your options, just make sure you research, make sure you are willing and ready to come to this Philly city environment. It's kind of like New York, but a little smaller. So it's best of both worlds. You get your city environment, but it's not so incredibly huge like New York City. That's kind of why I liked it too. And yeah, just make sure it's really what you want. I know my cousin, I was like, oh my God, you should come to college, at Temple, and we could have a fun time. But she doesn't love city environment. She loves a more quieter, where she could go to a field. And I'm like, oh, I don't need a field. I can hop on a train if I want to go to a park or something, but that's what she likes. So just make sure if you can visit, totally come visit, where they have those walkthrough tours that you can do online and stuff. But yeah, just make sure you cover all your bases with your research. I had a whole Google Doc when I was in high school, pros and cons of all of the colleges ever that I've been thinking about. And yeah, it's just kind of what you gotta do.
That Google Doc thing does not surprise me at all. I love to see it.
I think I did it for grad school auditions too. I was let me bring that back. I'm just doing that.
Exactly. Yeah. So kind of jumping off of that, once you ended up here, what was your favorite part of going to college in Philadelphia?
Yeah, I just loved that I could hop. We have 2 subway stations that are right by campus, and I just loved that I could literally hop on a subway and end up near 15 different theaters, and I could go to any one of them and I'd see an incredible show. And that's what I remember freshman year, I was oh my God, this is amazing. I just text my friends and be oh my God, did you know this theater has student rush tickets, and this one, and we just go down and we get our $10 ticket and see an awesome show, and then come home and be oh my gosh, wait, that could be us one day. And now I'm seeing my incredible friends being in these shows of these theater companies that I used to go to when I was a freshman. So it's just really cool, and that's something that will stay with me for ever. It's just being super close. And of course, during the pandemic, it was harder to do that, but I had still made those nice friendships, so we were able to hang out through Zoom or like over text and all that stuff. But I think just the people I've met and the experiences, like the theatrical experiences I've got to be an audience member for and an actor in, were my favorite parts at Temple.
Awesome. That's such a like all-encompassing answer. Sheesh. Yeah.
One thing. I'm like, I like this and this.
That's fair though. I love to see it. We love to see it here. So like we also mentioned earlier, you are a former peer advisor. So we were hoping you could tell us a little bit about like what you did and how your time as a peer advisor impacted your time in undergrad.
Yeah. I was a peer advisor, as Maggie just said, and I actually started this podcast with my good friend Ben, and it was really cool. It was like I'd have to like find people. It was kind of like I was like a scouting agent person or whatever, you know. I'd be like, hey, do you want to be on the podcast? And I'd have to set up meetings and make sure everyone could attend. I also helped with the front desk, which I know Maggie knows that fun experience. I loved getting to answer the phones and the emails. I felt like I was like on Mad Men, you know. And yeah, and it actually really helped. It's helped, you know, going forward in my career. Like I have job interviews and people look and they're like, wait, you were like working at Temple while you were at Temple? And I was like, yeah. And they like, people like to see that, and people like to see that you're connected, not just like, you know, through your like schoolwork and everything, but like they thought it was nice that I had some admin stuff on my resume and that I knew how to do that. So it looks good on the resume too. And it's also fun. Like I had known Maggie, but I feel like we bonded more as peer advisors, and I got to meet the whole gang, like Cormac, Brianna, Nadia, Ben, Shannon. Oh, yeah, love them all.
Oh my God.
Such a good
It really is and was.
Yeah, it's really cool to like connect with, like, because I had connected with some like oh my God, and Emily. I can't forget about Emily. Emily went to
out there right now on the front.
I know. I was like, wait, I didn't see them like my whole last semester because they were studying abroad.
Oh my God.
And it was just nice to see other students from the CPCA world, like, because when you're in the theater major, like you're super connected with everyone, I feel like, because you see them all the time. But it was nice to be like, oh my gosh, like if I'm strolling through Boyer and I'd see like my CPCA peer advisor friend, I'd be like, wow, it's nice. It's nice to see other people in the CPCA world.
Yeah, totally. That is so true. And also, shameless plug. If you are watching this on Friday, March, how many days are there in March? 31st? Yes. If you're watching it, this episode, Friday, March 31st, 2023, we are looking for peer advisors to join the team. We are hoping to add 5 new members to the peer advisor squad. So get those applications in. I'm going to put an email in the description if you have any questions about any of that. And please apply, because we are looking for a lot of really cool people. So
yes, you can make some new friends and see the admin side, you know, see behind the curtain what goes on. Yeah, I have had a couple of jobs since also graduating, and a lot of them have been influenced by the work that I did as peer advisor as well. So, and you get to like chat with the advisors. They're all super cool. They're all super fun.
Yeah, no, it's a great team. Really cool people. Yeah. So also kind of jumping off of that into where are you now? Like what's happening now?
I'm in my room.
But you are currently working at Regional Mainstay, the Media Theater, which if you're a Philadelphia local, you may have heard of. Maybe you've gone out to see a show out there. So we were hoping you could tell us a little more about what you're doing right there and how you got there.
Yeah, so I was looking for a job out of college. I work at Starbucks now too, you know, to make the money. But I was on Theater Philadelphia, one of the greatest resources we have. And I saw a job opportunity that said like, oh, we're looking for like teaching artists at the media theater. And I was like, oh my gosh, the media theater is not that far from me. Like I just hop on 476 for a little bit and then I'm there. And I've always wanted to like check that place out and see what they had to offer and all that. And so I responded and I sent my resume and everything and I interviewed and I got the job. And so I teach 4 classes. I teach 5 to 7-year-olds for my first class, 8 to 9-year-olds for my second, like 10 to 12, and then like 13 through like 18 high school age. And it's really, really cool. It's really cool to see. They're just called like theater acting classes. So I kind of get to make it whatever I want. But it's really cool to see theater at the different age levels. Like I remember being like very little at like 5 and like I didn't participate in any productions at that age, but I remember like making up stories, you know, with my friends and like playing with the animals. So like it's cool, like oh, I see that, like I have like little puppets for them that they like to play with and they're like oh with the puppets and it's really cute. And then the 8 to 9-year-olds, I remember that's like when I was that age, I started doing some theater camps maybe at actually Theater Horizon in Norristown, another great theater. And I started doing theater camps there. So I kind of see they have like a little broader sense of theater and they get more creative. They're like, oh, how about we do this and this? And they bring those in. And then like the 10 to 12, that's like when I actually started doing like my first productions in middle school. So those kids really, they're like, can we like put on a play? Can we like do this and this and this? And it's really cool. And then my high schoolers, they're like really into like figuring out monologues and I try to help them like start to figure out how to find their own, or I bring in some for them because that's always a great skill to have. So it's just really cool to see theater at like the different stages of like childhood, and they all have such great creativity and imaginations, and it's just fun to make up classes for the next generation of theater people. So I really love it. I've had experience working with kids in the past, but this is like the first time where it's like me leading a class with everything I want to do and all of that. So it's just really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's so much more that we could say about your Temple experience. You did so much. You were very involved in so many ways, but unfortunately, we try to keep these about 20 minutes long. So I just have one more question for you before we get to this or that. And that question is, if you could give an incoming Temple theater student one piece of advice, what would it be?
Join TU Side Stage. Do everything. And there's also like more theater groups now, like it's a By You For You, I think now.
Yep, that's the musical theater collective.
Underground, like all of these, there's like newer theater groups since I've graduated, where they were just starting when I was a senior. So literally just get involved in any way you can with all of these amazing groups. You'll meet super driven, enthusiastic theater folks that go to Temple that you'll be friends with for years after. Like I met Maggie through like acting classes, but like then Side Stage we became like besties. But yeah, just really go after it, like audition or get involved in the design team or get involved in the board. That's the like admin side of theater, which is really cool to know about. Yeah, just follow all those organizations and get involved in any way you can. Like they're always looking for help, so even if you're like, oh, I missed the auditions, I don't know if I want to like do that yet, you could literally help at like opening. They're usually looking, like if you just want to help them usher, feet wet, they'll help you, like, you know. But really just get involved, because then through the students, usually like the faculty come and visit, and then you can get in with faculty that way too, if you don't want to just like point blank email someone and be like, hi, can you be my mentor? You can meet faculty through these student groups, because a lot of them have the faculty member that helps oversee everything. So just a great way to get involved. Super great way.
So that all of this was so insightful. You are a well of knowledge, and we were so lucky to have you for a short period of time on the CPCA advising team.
I miss you.
We miss you at least once every 2 weeks. Someone's like, man, Sarah, just we're like, oh, we miss her. She was so, and we say that about all of our past advisors too. Like we were talking in our staff meeting last week about Ben, because also Ben is still in
I know this podcast without Ben. It's so strange. So strange.
Yeah, and we can't remove Ben from the group me for whatever reason, because he made group me, so he can't. So like I texted last week, I was like, oh, I'm running late to the meeting, and he was like, come on, do better. Ben, where are you? Like, come on.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Good times. We have fun here. Okay, so as you are familiar,
you guys still do the game?
We sure do. Just a light little, nice little ending touch.
Love it.
So I've got 20 theater, Philadelphia, and
20.
Yeah, I mean they go quick. You can go.
Okay.
You can go quick.
Good decision.
So for people who might be joining us for the first time today, you get 1 minute to pick between two options, and there's 20 sets of those. And if you make it through, nobody this season has finished this or that within a minute. And we have so no pressure.
There is pressure.
No pressure at all. It's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna start my timer. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Comedy or drama?
Comedy.
Saxby's or Richie's?
Saxby's.
Tomlinson or Randall?
Randall.
Stage or screen?
Screen.
Broad Street line or Market Frankfurt line?
Broad Street line.
Cherry or white?
Cherry.
Contemporary or classical?
Classical.
Hooter or Stella?
Stella.
City Hall or the Rocky Steps?
The Rocky Steps.
The Bell Tower or Founder's Garden?
Ooh, Founder's Garden.
Play or musical?
Play.
Intermission or no intermission?
Ooh, intermission.
Fall semester or spring semester?
Fall.
Practicum or creativity basic?
Practicum.
Water or water?
Water.
Scripted or improv?
Scripted.
Self-tape or live audition?
Live audition. Did we make it?
No, we had 3 left. We had 3.
Too many.
There were, listen. People usually been tapping out around like 14.
How many did we get?
We got to 17. So 19, 20.
I hesitated a couple times because some of those are tricky.
We
like to say an answer, but then you're like,
yeah.
I'm like, I should just go with whatever my first thing is, but then I'm like, wait, should I say that?
Well,
I learned a lot about myself through that. That was a experience.
Oh my god. Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful, amazing, gorgeous. Well, once again, thank you so much, peer advisor Sarah, former peer advisor Sarah, for coming back. For those of you watching, for those of you watching, one more time, you can apply to be a peer advisor. Applications are due Friday, March 31st at noon. And if you have any questions, you can email Leanna Arnold and she will get you all set up. So, Sarah, we love you. Please
love you guys.
Yeah. And thank you all for watching. We will see you next week. Bye.